Hello, Geoguessr fans. Welcome to another US Geoguessr video. Tonight I'm going to be taking you through South Carolina on the South Carolina AI generated map. These maps can be difficult. They can be rather brutal. You get a lot of rural rounds, but they're very, very good for practicing region guessing specific states. And I've been wanting to practice some South Carolina. As of late, I have not yet done a video in South Carolina. And I would like to be number one on this map. I'm currently sitting at number two, 10 points behind number one. So I feel like I can do that. I'm going to be playing moving because no moving on these AI maps is especially difficult. And I'm going to be giving myself 10-minute rounds. I'd like to share with you my thinking and my analysis as we play South Carolina. My first thought here is that, wow, this is pretty, kind of flat and agricultural looking for South Carolina. Not that much of South Carolina is not flat, but it's not this, flat farm country like this. I'm also seeing a lot of pine trees, a lot of coniferous trees. This is an interesting landscape for South Carolina, for sure. So where could we possibly be? I mean, this does not look low country at all, right? There are a lot of different regions of South Carolina. Rock Springs School Road. Okay. I mean, we have extreme northwestern South Carolina up here that has mountains, and then we have low country beach all the way in the other extreme of the state. I would venture to say we're somewhere in the middle here, but where are we in that kind of vast middle of the state of South Carolina? It really, nothing about this strikes me as central, southern, eastern South Carolina. Like I say, it almost has a much more Appalachian kind of vibe to it, so I would not be surprised at all if we are in the northwest part of the state here. Certainly north and west of Columbia. I would put us really even up here. Greenville, Spartanburg, maybe even into Rock Hill. I think even Rock Hill would begin to look a little bit more southern, with more southern pines, with more sandy soil. I feel like if I was playing this round on a US map, I don't think there's any way I would guess South Carolina here. I'm not gonna lie, this just I'm very curious to figure out where we are here in the state because I'm rather flummoxed. Kiowa, okay, Kiowa Road. Doesn't immediately ring any bells. 178. Okay. So we are on 178 and we are in the 864 area code. So the 864 area code would completely support where I was speculating we were before, in this northwestern corner. I just feel like this landscape is so distinct that since we are sure we're in South Carolina, we have to be this far northwest. And yeah, we are extremely far northwest. We are around Clemson, it looks like. Where does 178 exactly go? It looks like it runs through Anderson, down here, into Greenwood, and even past Greenwood. So we could be anywhere, yeah, from wow, 178 goes very far, doesn't it? But the 864 area code indicates that, yeah, we're very likely somewhere here in the northwest part. Now, I don't think it's hilly enough to be extreme northwest, so I would expect that maybe we're somewhere around here. Anderson, maybe southwest of Greensville. I think we could conceivably be around here as well. Due West. I know there's a college in Due West, yeah, Erskine College. But the farther south and the farther east we get, the more low country it's going to look, the more sandy, the more southern pines we're going to get. Instead of this just like kind of like shockingly deciduous environment for South Carolina. 1902, Highway 178 North. That would also support being more in this area where 178 runs more north-south. Yeah, I think it would definitely support that. I would just like to get some indication of, more of where we are, obviously, because 178 is just such a long road. So we're headed north on it. I mean, we can tell that at this point it's largely running north-south, so I would not expect that we're south or east of Anderson. I kept seeing this water tower, and I thought that's going to be our last resort. Donald's / somewhere else. Okay, so we saw Donald's when we were on the map. Donald's due west. Yeah, we were right there where I was looking at. Due west is home of Erskine College. So Donald's and due west. Cool. And we're going north into Honey Path. We definitely passed Honey Path. So we are just a little bit southeast of Anderson. There's Honey Path, Donald's, due west. Okay, so we were going north into Honey Path. We started out at nowhere. Going northwest, where was our first cross street? Keowee. I remember Keowee. And that may very well have been our first cross street, unfortunately. So let's go down. There's Keowee Road. Looking northwest, we gotta be able to get somewhat of a cross street. There's not much. There's Southside Baptist Church. Here's Malone Road. Oh no, we of course just blew past this intersection. All in K. All in K. There's All in K. So we were really just south of there. Maybe just like a couple south of All in K. You see that other side of it comes out. Then there's a little driveway to nowhere. Of course, driveway to nowhere is not on the map. I feel like we just got to be right about there. Cool. Good way to start, 5K. Took me a little while, but we were near due west, South Carolina, home of Erskine College, as I noted. So in between Honey Path and due west. So we were a little bit farther south than where I thought, but we were definitely up in that northwest corner. 864 area code gave it away, so I didn't think we could be like any farther south and east than maybe like Greenwood. Although 864 might come down a little farther than that. Area codes are really useful in South Carolina because I believe there's only 3 of them, 3 major ones. All right, see how much different the terrain is here? This is like so much more what I would expect out of South Carolina. It's like kind of dry, it's sandy. We still have these kind of fat pine trees that are not those traditional stereotypical southern pine trees. Edgebrook. All right, now we haven't seen a distinctive brown, dark South Carolina sign. On a lot of signs in South Carolina, you get hints about where you are because there's these special like little secondary signs. They're like black or dark brown. Oftentimes you can see them. Another thing you can see oftentimes in South Carolina is Gen 1 coverage. Let's just keep going until we're through this blur, let's hope. Okay, so it looks like we are in a part of the state that is developing, for sure. Lexington Point. Lexington Point. Luxury homes from the 200s, okay. Man, some of you that are watching this that live in like higher priced areas of the country, you're like, what the heck? Luxury homes from the 200s? Yeah, you might want to move to South Carolina if you want to live somewhere cheap. All right, so Sam McGee Road. We're getting these distinctive street signs. All right, thank you, Montessori School of Anderson. You can't really spell the preposition through, so I question your pedagogical level, but I thank you for your sign there telling us we're near Anderson, so it's very, very likely that we're near that 178 again, US 178. As a matter of fact, I feel like there's not a terribly bad shot that we continue to be on that road. Although it does not really look like we are on that major of a highway. It really doesn't. Looks like we're somewhere near Anderson, though. We emerged out of Gen 1 coverage. And let me just get a street sign on that again. Sam McGee. Okay, so we continue to go northwest. Possibly in the direction of Anderson. This road gets a little squiggly there. So could we be going north out of Anderson? I would say yes. Again, we're not exactly sure what road we are even on. It would be nice, South Carolina, if we could get a cross street. All right, we're at least going to get a little bit of a clue here, do we not? McClellan. Now, was that? It almost looked like it said McClellan 2 or something like that. McClellan 2. Is that possible? It could have also just said like McClellan Drive or something. It is kind of frustrating, this Gen 1 coverage. I'm going to go the other direction. It's kind of weird that I say this looks a lot more like South Carolina. It's pretty obvious we're fairly close to where we were before. It's flat, agricultural. I mean, it definitely indicates the northwest part of the state. We haven't seen anything in the way of, like palm trees, beaches. You might think of that when you think of South Carolina. Now we're not getting any of that at all. So we are just going into Anderson, city of Anderson, and we're going south, kind of vaguely southwest. So I would venture to guess Midway Drive. Would that be a good send? Somewhere like that. I mean, I wouldn't expect. We could be on this 81. We could be. Just not getting much in the way of clues. We're entering Anderson. We know that much. So we're at least going to get pretty darn close. Canebrake and Worthington. Okay. So see, in South Carolina, a lot of times in the urban areas, people live in these like subdivisions that get these names that oftentimes you can find on the map. So you see just all of these like weird, they're not like resorty kind of subdivisions, but they kind of look like that almost. All right, so going into Anderson from the southwest. Now we're going northeast. Agape Faith Church. That's what we're really close to. Where are you, Agape? It's just hard when you start out, and it takes you a while to figure out where the heck you are. I gotta think we're somewhere out in this direction, because we are going vaguely southeast into Anderson. I think this Midway Road is a pretty good send. I really do. What is our cross street? There's Agape. Here is Edgebrook, County Road 10, 140 Drive. 10, 140, 6, 100. See, I mean, the county roads do have some sort of, like system to them. It's really hard to read and figure out, unfortunately. I really feel like we are just on one of these roads going south-southeast into Anderson. Let's plonk, like, right about there. Okay, cool. So we weren't on Midway Road. We were on Concord Road. Yeah, we didn't see. There's Edgebrook. That Agape Church. Not on the map. Not on the map, Agape. Don't feel too bad. We're just a little bit too far northeast. Yeah, I think should have gone a little bit closer to Anderson, but not bad. 45.95 on the second round. Let's try to get something. Yeah, these are weird South Carolina drops. I haven't had a drop yet where I would be on a U.S. map like really confident sending South Carolina. They just all sort of look just vaguely Appalachian. So I wouldn't be shocked if we're in that 864 area code again. Northwestern part of the state. I mean, a lot of the population is there, for sure. Oh no. Gen 1, continuing Gen 1. Be nice if we could read that sign, wouldn't it? Be nice if everything just wasn't super blurry. You will get that a lot, unfortunately, on these AI Gen maps. Here we go. Back into, you snap from like Gen 1 to, I don't know if this is Gen 4, but looks like it. Very clear. So see nothing to see everything. That's cool. Let's see if we can get anything off of this. Pomegranate, Baxter Village. Okay. Well, we know we're near Baxter Village. We know that we're at Manors at Lake Ridge. Again, just a lot of these like South Carolina style subdivisions. We're getting hills. Yeah, again, I gotta think we're in northwestern South Carolina. Maybe not. Maybe not. Certainly don't think we're anywhere near the low country, though. I mean, it just gets too hilly. You can see that the soil is a little sandier. Soil is definitely sandier than the first couple rounds, so I wouldn't be at all surprised if we're closer to the center of the state here. I mean, maybe Columbia area. Certainly would not think Charleston, but I also think distinct possibility we're just right pretty much where we were in those first two rounds. Now what are we thinking? North Sutton Road, okay. And looks to be just a lot more main of a highway. Okay, here's what I was talking about with these like black or dark brown signs. So that one says S46 251. And so the S46, that tells you what county you are in. And actually, now that I think about it, wow, such a helpful sign. This is cool. This is cool for South Carolina meta, even though this isn't really meta. Some people would call this meta. So the S46 251 is actually extraordinarily helpful. Because the first number is what county you're in, but it's what county you're in alphabetically in South Carolina. And so if you're in an A county, a county that starts with A, that would be like S1, S2, S3, S4. So Abbeville County would be S1. Now, I just happen to know there are only 46 counties in South Carolina, so I know that S46 is York County. It's the last one. It's the last one alphabetically. And also York County is where Rock Hill is. So we are indeed in northern South Carolina again. Catawba River access. We are somewhere up in this direction. There's the Catawba River. So all of this makes sense. We are somewhere up here in Rock Hill. At least Rock Hill area. So Catawba River access to the west. New Gray Rock. New Gray Rock. So if that's saying Catawba River to the west, yeah, here's Baxter Village. Okay, so we were almost, how close were we to the North Carolina line? Very close. So I feel like this would still be considered, I would think, like Charlotte suburbs. There's Gray Rock. New Gray Rock is what we came out on, though. There's Trafford 1, Forsythia. I think we were back here. Catawba Park, Bluebell Way. Let's go back all the way to the beginning. We want to go east, because I'm pretty sure that's the way we went. Yep, because we went past this little, like, orchard-looking thing. And then, unfortunately, that's when we hit Gen 1, huh? So maybe we might want to go the other direction. Maybe let's just go northwest a little bit and see if we can keep this good coverage and come out of an intersection. Yeah, we should have just gone northwest, I think, to begin with. Here is Catawba Park. Great. I think we saw that on the map. Yes, we did. So had to been on New Gray Rock Road, and then we would be turning, yep, to the south to go to Catawba Park. Is that the entrance right there? Maybe not, but we went a little bit northwest to get to Catawba Park. So, I bet you that was Gardendale Road, the one that we could not read, the road we couldn't read. So we're somewhere around here. Very nice, 4990, up in Rock Hill, actually in Baxter Village, South Carolina. So we were really, really close to Charlotte. 3 rounds in the north. Where will the 4th round take us? Well, similar landscape, right? Tri-county mental health. Okay. Not familiar as to where the tri-counties are of South Carolina. But I am seeing an 843 area code. So 843 is going to be Eastern South Carolina. I think anywhere in here is going to be 843. So I guess the question is, how close are we to the ocean? Doesn't particularly look somewhere that's like low country-ish, does it? Very distinctive street signs. E Boulevard and Zoar Road. E Boulevard and Zoar. The Living Word Church. Okay. Where could we be? Is this going to give us the name Chesterfield? Chesterfield, South Carolina? Yes, yes indeed. And looks like we're going west. Looks like we're headed west into Chesterfield. And 843 area code. All of that tracks. We're on E Boulevard, Tri-County, E Boulevard, and Zoar Road. Zoar Road. Okay, so I think Chesterfield is a not insignificant place. I mean, I think I've heard of it at least. So maybe it's time to go to the map since I have an area code and I know we're very near Chesterfield. Don't think Chesterfield's anywhere down here like southwest of Charleston. I feel like it's northeast of Charleston. Chesterfield would have to be in the east part of the state, given the 843 area code. So I'm just going to continue to kind of go northeast of Charleston, up here through Monk's Corner, Andrews, Georgetown, Hemingway. We're getting up here into Conway, Myrtle Beach. We're going to run out of South Carolina here pretty soon. Up near Ketchup Town, you gotta love Ketchup Town, South Carolina, or PD, South Carolina. But where the heck is Chesterfield? Inland? Yeah, farther north and east than I thought. So that would put us here. So again, extreme north South Carolina. I would have not expected an 843 area code to be this far north. So we were going west. There's Lamb of God. Jesus is Lord. Where's the living word? Where's the living word? Stroud and Son, Bobuck Mills. So we're going west into Chesterville. There's East Boulevard. Okay, so E Boulevard was East Boulevard, huh? Okay, interesting. Teal's Mill. So we were at E and Zoar. E and Zoar. Has to be east of Chesterfield because we were going west into Chesterfield. So I would have to say Zoar. There's Zoar. There's Living Word. So we were Tri-County right when this goes to like divided highway going east, and we're looking straight west, straight north at Zoar. So I believe us to be here. Looking at good old Living Word Ministries. Okay, good. So we get a 5K, which I should get at least one of moving for sure, in a state that I'm pretty familiar with. Although we have been 4 rounds in extreme northern South Carolina. Can I get one in Hilton Head? Let me get one at Hilton Head. Come on. Give me one in like Charleston or Hilton Head. No. Looks like we're going to be up north again. Okay, so this is going to be sort of like the least dispersed AI gen South Carolina ever, but it's AI totally random, so you never know. Of course, more Gen 1 coverage. Maybe I need to give up playing South Carolina because of the amount of Gen 1. Alright, so we're going north. I tell you, I mean, we're seeing more of these southern pines. We're seeing more of those, what I have learned are called loblolly pines, but many Geoguessr players just know them as southern pines, those kind of sparse, thin, spindly pines at the top. We're seeing more of those, I think. So I might be thinking that we're like kind of farther south. Finally. Evergreen. We are in Evergreen, South Carolina. Okay. Small town. Unfortunately, it's not a small town I've heard of. But if we are able to locate Evergreen on the map, we're going to be doing well. Okay, I saw one of those South Carolina signs, the ones I was just talking about, the brown-black ones. Okay, S21. So, unfortunately, 21 is not going to be one, I know. Pamplico Highway, S21. So, we're in the 21st county, alphabetically, whatever that is. Pamplico. So, that would put us, like, I don't know, in a county that starts with maybe, like, H. 21 out of 46. Could we possibly be in Horry County? That would start with an H. That would explain a little bit more in the way of like those southern pines. Evergreen, though. Where's Evergreen? Evergreen doesn't look to be a completely tiny place. Is Evergreen just gonna be where we've been fooling around this whole seed? Is it just gonna be up here in the kind of Greenville, Spartanburg area? I mean, Evergreen sounds like it'd be in the mountains, right? But don't think we're in the mountains, though. I think we're in, like I say, a little bit lower place in South Carolina. I'm just going to scan a little bit more, just in case I just hit Evergreen. It's probably not the biggest place. It's probably not somewhere that would be really apparent on the map. Yeah, it's just hard to tell. I think we're in the 21st county Doesn't super help, though, does it? I feel like we just need a little bit more. Okay, well, you're going to see this kind of architecture all over South Carolina. I guess I might be able to speak to that a little bit. This Dollar General, certainly at home. Anywhere in rural South Carolina, this kind of just like open feel where everything's just kind of covered in like pine needles. 327. Well, that at least gives us a little bit more. We know we're in Evergreen. That was South Carolina 327. Okay, cool. Florence and Effingham. So we're at 327. We know we got to be somewhere near Florence. So I wasn't too far off here in like Conway, Myrtle Beach area. There's Florence. There's Effingham. So South Carolina 327. There you are. Why am I not seeing Evergreen? Is Evergreen just a super tiny place? I mean, it definitely looks like it. Okay, well, I found 327. So going south to 327 would take us to Effingham. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I guess that tracks. And then, so we're going northwest towards Florence. Okay, okay. So there's 327. Going to Effingham. Where's Evergreen? Why are you not on the map? There's Pamplico. Okay, cool. So it's a little bit farther away than I think. We're on Pamplico Road at one point. And we're very near the town of Evergreen. Somewhere near 327. Wow, okay. Am I missing something here? I mean, that would put us right near 95. Okay, so Florence would be to the northwest. Effingham would be maybe to like the southwest. So Florence, northwest, Effingham, southwest, okay? I mean, I see all of this. Why am I not seeing Evergreen? Am I just like the worst scanner of all time? Does that happen? Francis Marion Road, I mean, we gotta be near, oh, there's 327, okay. So maybe, if we go off this way, Hopewell Presbyterian, I'm very confused. Where is Evergreen Road? Okay, I just feel like I'm really like fooling around here and I have no clue. Where did you put me this last round in South Carolina? Where did you put me? These look like helpful signs, but why can't I see them? So here's 327 going southeast. I tell you, do I just need to, I have 2.5 minutes left. Do I just need to like zoom out a little bit? Like, where could we possibly be? I tell you, I'm going to curse the name of Evergreen, South Carolina, like, for a long time. I really am. So southwest going to Effingham or northwest going to Florence. I don't know. We're somewhere around here. That's all I can tell you. Yeah, I mean, as to why Evergreen was not on the map, I have absolutely no clue. I mean, I see it now, but absolutely no clue why Evergreen wasn't on the map. I never want to go there. So that was 5 rounds in northern South Carolina. I think I at least beat my high score on this map. Yeah, 24,000 is not too bad. We were moving. Let's just review where we were. I mean, the answer is in northern South Carolina the whole time. So I feel like that's why I was having a bit of a hard time. I'm really way more familiar with like low country South Carolina. So our first round, I managed to 5K. We were near Honey Path and yeah, like Donald's due west up there near Erskine College. Then we were just like right up the road in Anderson in our second round near there. I was able to pinpoint third round a lot better near Rock Hill because I knew we were in York County because those South Carolina signs. Remember those? Then 5K near Chesterfield. Really near the North Carolina border again, and then that last round just somewhere near Evergreen, southeast of Florence. So, let's see what the leaderboard looks like on South Carolina AI generated. Good, your boy is number one. Well, at least that was worth it. 32 minutes, 5 seconds. That's not a super great score, but I mean, it is number one on the leaderboard, over 24,000, so pretty proud of that. Thank you for watching. I think I'm going to move on to another state's AI generated map next and take you somewhere else. So be sure to check out my other videos on YouTube for more US Geoguessr content.